Pop that.
Hello folks, welcome back to another Sweet Stripe video. Today, there's this one guy over here, Tremain'S, part of the Sweet Stripes Club. He only makes thumbnails because, let's just say that iOS sucks and doesn't let him record, because Android is OP and boss. But, that's a conversation for another day. Let's go over here, because Tremain'S wants me to do a deck review on the, air quotes, Savage deck. So let's see if this is really what he says it is. First impressions, I would say it's vulnerable to poison, since there's all these cheap troops that don't have a lot of health, but they're good at being swarm and resistant to some small spells like log, because archers can survive it. And then it's also pretty good against lightning decks, because like log, arrows don't kill archers, though in ladder it probably does, just because of overleveling. And with rocket, generally you don't have these troops that are mostly aggressive, such as Goblin Gang, Ice Spirit, E-Wiz, pretty much, because you don't put like an E-Wiz behind a Hog Rider. It's very not normal for that to happen. And normally, though he doesn't have it, Princess would be good with rocket decks, because then they're basically the mobile zap or lock in the deck. So let's pop into this and see what happens. Over here I could either do split skeletons or Hog Rider at the bridge, or just wait and see what the person does, since he also has a rocket that he can defend with. I wouldn't say skeletons, because that's a little bit of an overinvestment on the first play, just because you want to use those skeletons as best you can on defense there. But it turns out to actually be really good, as the opponent over defends and uses Spanky and Inferno Dragon in. Fortunately, Tremaine got some sniping with the rocket and didn't chief path the rocket and actually miss. And I'm pretty sure this is Tremain'S first debut on the channel. I'm not that sure, but I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Knight's okay, but I would have liked it to reserve for anything else that the guy had. Archers, I think, would be better, because it would take more time for the giant skeleton to get to the archers, and it would be just enough. And it's okay if you waste the archers anyway, since you have skeletons and Ice Spirit and Knight against Inferno Dragon and Sparky combo. And see right here, this is what happens when you don't have a small spell. Even though Tremain'S does get hit off. Unfortunately, the skeleton army 3-for-4s his hog and gets a positive elixir trade. OJ here, guys. This guy Behanger right here, because he can't get through with the giant skeleton. Sad thing about ladder, though, is there's always these goofy decks that you never think would work, but they actually do for some reason, just because of overleveling and the blind leading the blind, per se, in ladder. Because, what would this guy clone? Sparky and Inferno Dragon and Wizard? If you clone, you can clone Wizard, would be good, but if you clone Sparky, it's not that good. Because then if they use their Zappa, they'll just get more value. If they use their E-Wiz, they'll get more value. If they use their Log, they'll get more value. And when you clone the Sparky, it will reset its charge, further immobilizing your attack. Good thing that the level 3 giant skeleton doesn't one-hit the goblin, because that would have been, let's just say, not good for Tremaine over here if that wasn't true. Bad archers, you could have put him to the left a little bit more, and by doing that, they would snipe some of the skeletons and been better. They would take less, been on the board longer, my bad. This guy Behanger trying to do a Wizard Inferno Dragon, that's not working at all. And GG. It's well played, I guess. It the game was pretty much already over when Tremain'S got that first hog rocket push on, but as you can see, the skeleton army did get a pretty good value later on. So, deck review, here I come. Tremain. What's with these clone decks? Like, are you gonna clone Golem? I guess you can, but if they have Executioner or Baby Dragon, it's not good for you. Although it is pretty annoying, though, if you actually do get the clone off. If I do say so myself. Gautier from LaCroix Rousset. Russian Roulette, maybe. Really gambling here. It's pretty good, I would say. You don't always have to, it's not imperative to kill an Inferno in the first match, because then you use all your elixir trying to kill something that is probably going to stay on the board just because it's already beefy. And it wasn't like Tremain'S was going to make any push anytime soon with his Hog Rider. So he could have let just the Inferno do whatever it did. Fortunately, the Night Witch gets killed. And I like the Skeleton and Goblin getting combo because that's just so many DPS and distraction units that you can put on there. The Ewiz was mad because he would have wanted to save it, and it didn't matter if the opponent defended the push or not, because then Tremain'S would have had the Ewiz to defend. Any further attacks Gautier did, since he was also good against Golem, Mini P.E.K.K.A, and Night Witch. Not Night Witch. What have I turned in these days? Witch, I mean. And speaking of Night Witch, guys, so I did do the Night Witch challenge, and you know me, I sucked as usual. I got 3 wins, and then I did another one, and I got 10 wins, and in the 10th one, I lost because, well, let's just say, when those units always get those fadeaway shots and blast your tower to pieces, that's what happened to me. Because I thought the Musketeer had enough HP to be killed by the tower and not get a pop-off, but unfortunately she did. And the stupid thing was the guy had like a giant lightning Night Witch deck, so then he could have just absorbed my Goblin Barrels. And I had cards that were weak to lightning anyways, and I didn't really have any good DPS killers, which was really frustrating. Plus he had Musketeer to snipe all my units from behind the giant. But I guess I can complain all day long, just won't change what happened. Well, Gautier Behanger, and he can't clone anything but his tower now. It's done. How those goblins in the back, they look devilish with like the light emanating from their eyes. That's pretty cool. Well, there's one more replay, I would say, and that'll be it. And then after that, I'm going to, if there's another replay, I'm going to see, yeah, probably just going to do a battle. But just because I can, I'm going to see what Emperor Fat Daddy does over here. I would most likely do either Musketeer or Valkyrie because the Wizard Splash is highly sought after and you should save it as best as you can. Musketeer is better DPS, but if he shouldn't put Musketeer there. He could have put it on the opposite lane right over here to hit the Hog Rider and then convert into an offense that would have pushed Attraction to the other lane, so that if they did kill the Musketeer, the surviving units would not go down the right lane, which is damaged more. They would go down the left lane. Good push though on Emperor's part. Interesting that he has Miner and Hog. Pretty annoying combo, but normally you don't do Miner and Hog like in one push. You do them separately. So this guy just ignores the tower and oh, that's insane. Emperor actually has a level 8 wizard. Talk about over leveling. Good times. Valkyrie is meh. The guy has Skarmy, so well, actually it's okay because Emperor has Baby Dragon, and the guy was being stupid up there and actually put the Skarmy around the Valkyrie. People these days having like chickens with their heads cut off. What did I say? For some reason, the guy zaps the King's Tower of Emperor. And then the Inferno was put in the wrong place, acting like it's a melee unit. What is coming with people these days? Might as well two-speed through this. Make the pain go faster for Phil. I wonder why that guy's name is even Phil. Was he like gonna do the PHIL version and then he like goofed up and darn messed up? And well, we'll never know, guys, because he did. But when I go into this ladder match, guys, just forewarner, I do not know everything about this deck. I'm just making recommendations based on how I see it, and Tremain'S is most likely better than me. Actually, I'll just say he is, because if he's played it once and I haven't played this at all, then he would probably know a ting or two. I should have done Ewiz instead of Ice Spirit, and that was too much elixir. Oh well. And I'll just do archers right here, knight to tank, and skellies to whack on that witch, so that my knight can stay alive. And oh, now that he did that, I will. Actually, I thought that the archers would survive, since normally that's what should happen, but it didn't, and I paid the price. It's going to be a juicy goblin gang, since he also used his log. Amount of minions, oh. I'm fine with that. Minor Spear Goblins is an annoying combo that can always get a lot of chip damage on her tower, so don't ever let that happen to you. Probably gonna log. Oh no. I'll just rocket that if I can actually not chief pad it. Yeet, I actually got it. Actually, I'll just apply opposite lane pressure because it looks like he's going to try to build up something. I don't really care about... And his Goblin Gang gets too much damage on my tower. I need to go full attack mode here. And Tremain'S was helpful in making sure I unfortunately his and he takes the tower. I call riot. This deck sucks. I'll stick to it anyways, just because this video is about the deck, even though I'd have liked to done something a little bit better. And as I just foretold, you can put units that will defend my Hog Rider without getting rocketed. And it's not like I have had that much chance to get rockets off that had some success. Okay, that guy needs to stop being annoying. That's a really good Ice Spirit, though. See if I can kite it over here. I was going to try to see if the mini pack would be attracted to skeletons than a knight, but That didn't happen. Archers are good against the two beams of energy that emit from the Ewiz. So that will be good. I'm going to save my Ice Spirit so I can do Ice Spirit plus Night to get the miner, even if I don't predict it. Yeah, good times. Fortunately, he has to use his miner over there. Definitely what we want. And he's probably going to put his princess down. Ooh. I don't know if that log was justifiable just because it was Spirit Golems and he could use a princess if he had a rotation. And again, Ice Spirit is good. Just because I can. That was actually a juicy rocket, guys. It's because it's not going to put like he's going to put anything close to his tower. So that's why I rocketed that. Plus, it actually did get the Ewiz, which was what I was hoping for, and it turned out not to be too terrible in the end. It's probably going to log, so I'll save my log for that. And then I'll just cycle to my rocket. Wow, I actually kill it. Lumbo was going to sneak in there for some damage. Put some mini P.E.K.K.A there. The guy needs to stop putting annoying miners. It was just so I can see if I can stop one of the units for a little bit. Can get my Ewiz up real fast. He does actually get a hit, which is not good. Stupid thing is he's just tank smashing me. And I'm most likely going to lose this again. And he actually takes it. I do not see why people are using Rocket in this deck. But whatever. Once this thing finally loads, then I'll be actually able to do something. And, I don't know what I was thinking. Aircoat's Savage deck. Apparently, if it's to gain the title of Savage, it has to lose 3 or 4 times. Is he even on? No, I don't think so. Plus, if it's a 3.1 deck, you probably should use something that actually would help you win battles and not get you on a trophy losing streak. If you want something to take out Wiz don't get hit. Oh, he did. People must hate me these days. Always getting fadeaway shots on my tower. Nova World, this guy must be kind of good. Because Nova's a pretty prominent clan in the competitive esport area. That means this guy might have something going for him. Although his name's not optimal, let's just say that. I'm going to poison this. Just got the tip of that thing. I don't think he even knows I have Goblin Gang as of now. I want to protect my Ewiz, and he's going to be a nasty little bugger and try to reinforce his push. Wow, he's so skilled. Wow, he actually doesn't get a hit off. That is really good because it's 2 for 4, and that means I can press home the attack. And I might do poison against his Gob Hut if he does it. I'll just poison out anyways. Don't want to really deal with that. Interesting that he has a giant Hog Rider. I didn't really want to put anything against. Might do Bomber here. Make sure that Bomber doesn't reinforce to the attack, and it doesn't, which is good. This guy's just throwing cards at the bridge. What's new these days, you know? This guy actually... I guess I'm fine stocking up on troops to crush him with. I mean, he can pick his poison, in which he will die. Rip this guy. And as you guys saw, hog poison is a pretty cheap thing that can allow you to have enough elixir on defense. Although with this weird hog rocket kind of thing that Tremaine has going for himself, it's basically rocket what's near the tower. But most opponents, if they're smart enough, actually don't do that. And by the time the Hog Rider actually gets a hit, the rocket, by the time the rocket's like hitting stuff, your Hog Rider will most likely be dead anyways. It's an interesting deck to say the least. So I'm not saying it's terrible or anything, or it's not bad, but it's just, I guess, not my playstyle. So here's the deck again, guys. Maybe swap out rocket for poison. As you can see, swarm is really detrimental to the hog's capability of getting to the tower, so on and so forth. Hope you have a good days, guys, and clash on.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.